Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, I'm going to answer a simple question. People have asked, if you can only choose one of the three limited units that are up right now, which one would you choose? And to answer that question, first of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about Freyvia because I didn't really do a dedicated guide on her. I've done one for the other two. Now, I do have Freyvia, but I pulled her randomly and I didn't really invest in her. That's really the reason that I don't want to talk about her, like do a dedicated guide on her, because I'm not the best at her, so I don't know how good she really is. But what I've seen of her before her EX was that she is very easily able to tank magic damage. I've seen a lot of units do like 1 magic damage on her because she's able to get her magic resistance up to 100. Now, that was on her release, or shortly after her release. Now, we have a lot more capability to bypass that magic resist. Like we have, for example, Garvel's TMR to do 50% of magic resist penetration, right? So 100% magic resist isn't as good as it used to be. However, I think they did a pretty good job with Freyvia's EX because they gave her this new skill that basically gives her 20 defense and spirit whenever she casts it. It's an AoE skill. She can cast it up to 3 times, and when she casts it, it actually stacks for 3 turns. So in 3 turns, if she casts the skill, she will have 60 additional defense and spirit by the end of the 3rd turn. Yes. So I think, I should probably mention that. So each cast you get 20 defense and spirit. So 3rd cast, that's 20 times 3. That's how you get the 60. And I think this is a good addition to her to keep up with the defensive capabilities of her, because magic resist doesn't go as far. Having a very high spirit and in addition having a very high defense as well is a good way to keep her as a an anti-magic tank. She also got some hate in her skills as well now, so I think she does a pretty good job at that. So that's all I'm going to talk about her. I'm not going to go too in depth because it's probably better to listen to somebody else that actually has invested in her and uses her a lot, because I actually there are some other units that I don't really I haven't invested in, but I have fought them enough, or I understand enough about them to give a good review. But with her, I don't really know too much. I haven't seen her too much either, so that's the reason why I'm avoiding talking about her. But let's get to the question now. Of the 3, which one would you pick? So with Freyvia, I will say that she is not. She would be the 3rd place spot for me personally, because there are other good magic tanks. For me personally, I have Rain already, who is a spirit based tank, and he can also get high magic resist as well. There are other units, like for example Black Rose Helena, who has the capacity to get to 100% magic resist. So I feel like Freyvia isn't really that unique, so if I could only pick one of the 3, she would be the 3rd one that I would pick. I would pick the other 2 before I picked her. And again, personally, I've already got her from trying to pull for something else, and I didn't really bother investing in her. Now, of the other 2, if you're not sure which one you're going to get, and assuming that you don't have either yet, I would definitely recommend that you get these shards, regardless of what you choose, because each of these is, say, 25 million gil to get up to 10 shards, and this is running for 14 days, so you can get 140 of their shards. So I'm not planning on pulling Zazan, but I have definitely been doing this every single day. If you look at the amount of shards that I have for Zazan now, I have okay, let me sell that. I have 70 of her shards because I've been pulling those daily banners. I've also been trying to get whatever shards I can. So I've actually been doing the paid 5 shards for 60 viz as well, because I think it's a good deal. It's only for 14 days. I don't think that's going to be a huge drain on the paid viz that I have. So I think that's a good deal for that. Even if I'm not planning to pull Zazan, because I might get him later on, and the second time around, if there's a better banner or something, or if on Wednesday there's a good banner for him, I want to take advantage of that. So I don't want to miss out on the 7 days of these cheap shards that I don't get. Even if I get it later on, this isn't the Vizier or guild that I need right now, so I don't mind spending it the small cheap amounts on on his shard, and I would do that for Duane as well. Duane I already have maxed, but if you're in the position where you're not sure which one to get, or if you're pretty interested in both of them, or even Freyvia, if you're pretty interested in her, I would suggest you pull on this one as well. I am not, so I didn't even bother pulling on the Freyvia banners, but the other two, the guild banners, that's my suggestion, because the game has been quite generous with giving Gil lately, and now they even have the new Gil chamber, which is giving us the rainbow turtles. Where's that? This one. So it's giving us the rainbow turtles, and I've heard of people farming this all weekend to get like 1 billion Gil. So that is a lot more abundant than Visior. So I would definitely recommend getting that. Now, of the two, which one would you choose? I think the more unique one is Zazan. If I didn't have Duane at all, and of the two I wanted to get one of them, and I can only afford to get one of them, Zazan is the one I would get. There are a couple of reasons for that. The first one is cost. Although both of them are double cost units, if you look at the price in the store, Zazan shards are 2,000 Visior for 40 shards, whereas Duane shards are 4,000 Visior for 40 shards. So first of all, it's cheaper. But the unit itself, I believe Zazan is a lot more unique in what he can do. If you look at evasion units, 2B was supposed to be the best evasion unit to come around, and she is. As speaking as like a strictly evasion-based unit, she is really, really good because her evasion is very, very high, and she also has the self-evade buffs, which Zazan does not. However, for an all-around evasion unit, I think Zazan is better, because I think evasion has changed from strictly being able to avoid all hits to evading some hits but having survivability. If you look at Ketone's EX or Venera's EX, their EX doesn't focus on giving them even more evade. It focuses on increasing the survivability. It gives them single target resist, missile resist, magic resist, you name it. That's what the game has kind of changed to. So Zazan comes up with a unique way of combining evasion with survival, because he has immortal spirit, he has fake death, and he has a very high luck, so he's going to be evading. Even if you put no evade on him, he will still have a small chance of evading. So even with like one evasion card that could give you something else, like for example, if you put the Titan VC, which gives you plus 25 man-eater but also gives additional 20 evade for Earth, that is one way of building him, where you're not really sacrificing damage or going all into evade, but he is still going to be doing both jobs. He's going to be doing damage, and he's going to still be doing a little bit of evasion. So I feel like that is a very powerful and unique kit. We don't have anyone else that can do something like this, unless you go with something like Halloween Rairu and give him his own TMR and use Immortal Spirit, but he's also very slow and he doesn't really have evasion. I really like Duane. I think he is very powerful, and as I mentioned, he's a very good carry because he is able to penetrate different kinds of defenses and barriers. He can break barriers, but I think there are other units that are capable of doing that. Now, if you look at, for example, Black Rose Helena, she has a very similar kit, as in she's able to break barriers as well. She has magic resist penetration, she has spirit down, she has dark resist down as well. So it's similar to Duane. So I mean, if I need somebody for that, I don't really need to get Duane. I can already use Black Rose Helena. So in terms of that, that's why I would pick Zazan. Like if you're asking me, of the three, which one do I invest in most? Zazan would be the one that I would go for if you can only afford one. Personally, I made the choice for Duane because I didn't spend any Visior on any of these three during this event. I was able to max LB Duane from the shards that I got from the Mog shop, which were, where did they go? These shards. Yep, with these Mind Spears. That's how I was able to max him. He has been in my guild barracks for a while as well, so I was able to slowly build up his shards since the anniversary. And I didn't really want to spend Visior, so that's the reason why I decided to get Duane instead of Zazan. Like for me personally as well, I don't really like the playstyle of Zazan. I feel like I would have a lot more fun with the playstyle of Duane. So that could be another factor for you to consider as well. What do you like? Do you like tanky? Do you like magic tanking? Or do you like like a Zazan focused evade multi-revive playstyle. I definitely think Zazan is the most strongest of the three, though. So if you're looking in terms of power and you're asking for my opinion, that's the one that you should get. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions or comments, please leave them below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Take care now, and have a good day.